A video circulating on social media showing boiling pools of water in the crater of Mount Lyamiga has been causing some concern. With the St. Vincent La Soufriere volcano eruption fresh in mind, some residents are wondering if there is a link and if volcanic activity is increasing on St. Kitts. From Skn Newsline's research, the video seems to depict a set of fumaroles that are normal activity within Mount Lyamiga's volcano, the kind of activity that has been going on for many decades. It is a normal venting mechanism of Mount Lyamiga. Further, with the monitoring mechanisms in place courtesy the UWI Seismic Research Center, any abnormal activity would have been recorded. Skn Newsline reached out to the UWI Seismic Research Center and was provided with the following response, having also viewed the video in question. The statement reads, quote, "The scientists have reviewed the video and have not noticed anything significant. For now, that is just one feature in the entire geothermal area. Temporary changes in hypothermal features are expected as they respond to subsurface changes in gas and water availability. So it may seem to be more active, but that could just be due to a slight change in the gas or water from rainfall. The eruption at La Soufriere cannot trigger an eruption of volcanoes on the other islands. Each volcano has its own magma chamber and they are not linked." End of quote. Skn Newsline also attempted to speak with officials at the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, but were told that they would be engaged in a long meeting. Nevertheless, it appears that there is no unusual activity taking place at Mount Lyamiga at this time, according to the UWI Seismic Research Center. Glenn Bart reporting for Skn Newsline. As plans proceed to reopen the country to full economic activity, People's Action Movement Chairman Donald Powell said all is being done to relieve the difficulties that workers are experiencing as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Speaking with Skn Newsline following the scaled-back Labor Day activities stemming from COVID-19 protocols, Party Chairman Powell called on workers to hold strain while acknowledging the difficult circumstances that workers face as a result of the pandemic. Representing a member of the three-party coalition Team Unity government, Powell believes that economic circumstances will begin to improve soon and called on workers to do their part to achieve gainful employment and economic recovery.
I would say to them to, hold the strain. I think we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. We are about to turn the corner. But that also comes with responsibility, and such responsibility being that the more of us that vaccinate, the faster we can turn that corner, and the faster those persons can be returned to gainful employment. I think that we are well on the way, but we can achieve it a lot faster.
Powell said remaining severance payment matters are being processed and additional relief is being considered.
I know there's some workers who are still waiting on the severance payments, and that is something that certainly from a government standpoint we're working arduously to get done. We are also looking at some way of at least giving those workers some sort of relief, even in advance of the final severance payments being paid. And so we're doing all we can to try and ease those burdens on those persons. It's a difficult time. And so I asked them to hold the strain and hang in there. We will get through this together.
Tourism-oriented economies in the Caribbean took severe hits when the COVID-19 pandemic forced the closure of borders as one means of protecting local populations. Glenn Bart reporting for Skn Newsline.
Elliot's Funeral Parlor is the first licensed embalmer in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. We have a friendly and professional staff. At Elliot's Funeral Parlor, we offer a wide range of packages from $6,500, homegoing service at chapel, locally made caskets, tailoring of outfit for deceased of your choice, wake, overnight with slideshow, funeral, death announcement, obituary, booklets, family pin-ons, memorial books, preparation of funeral arrangements, wreath, fresh and artificial. For further information, call 469-3298, 664-2007, or 660-0186. Elliot's Funeral Parlor in Gingerland, Nevis. Dedicated to those we serve.
I eat some veggies for dinner. Let me me just check the amount of sodium in this can. Oh no, this is too much. Let me try our next option. They did say it's healthy to consume less salt. This is much better. I am salt smart.
Football is back, and the St. Kitts and Nevis Football Association will be bringing you live football on its website, www.sknfa.com, with Premier League Live. Without fans in the stadium due to COVID-19 protocols, you can now watch every single Premier League match this season on www.sknfa.com and click on Live TV. Games are shown live on every match day with halftime and post-game shows. It's Premier League Live. Commentary, analysis, action. Never miss a game.
Bless up, Dejo here, and I'm doing my part in the fight against COVID-19 by following all safety protocols and, most importantly, rolling up my sleeve for the vaccine. So I'm encouraging you to do the same, because that's our best shot of protecting ourselves, our family, and our friends. So don't wait, vaccinate. Let's roll up to roll out.
Auto Plus Car Wash, located on the College Street Gut, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Bring your car to Auto Plus Car Wash to remove water stains, wiper marks. Get your doors, roof panel cleaned, seat floor mats, buffing, headlights, and engine wash. You get quality service at the best price at Auto Plus Car Wash. They really care for your car. Call 765-5140 or visit them on the College Street Gut, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Auto Plus Car Wash, where the service is number one. The Governor-General of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dame Suzanne Dugan, has thanked His Excellency Sir S.W. Tapley Seaton, Governor-General of St. Kitts and Nevis, for a shipment of essential supplies that was contributed by Government House following the eruption of the La Soufrière volcano. The relief supplies were part of the first shipment sent by the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris, in the aftermath of the first volcanic eruption on April 9th, announced a pledge of $1 million to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines in other relief support, including humanitarian support through the accommodation of evacuees and the provision of security and defense force personnel to provide assistance through the Regional Security Service, RSS. Thousands of residents in communities close to the volcano have been displaced since the eruption due to ashfall and other negative environmental impacts. There have been several explosions since, the last one being almost 2 weeks ago, but the nation is still on high alert. I'm Andre Huey for Skn Newsline. The second organic farm market for 2021, organized by the Gideon Force Farm, was hailed a success. The event, held at the Gideon Organic Farm in the Old Road Virchilds area on Sunday, was attended by several patrons and featured vendors selling organically grown food and agro-processed products. Ras Sankofa, one of the organizers, gave a synopsis of what transpired.
We have Gideon Force booth here. You can see all these things from this land here, except for the sweet potato and some pak chai over there from my yard. All this here come from the farm. So the people them can see the blessing that we're doing here. We have mangoes, soursop, watermelon, ripe papaya, bok choy, sweet basil, seasoned pepper, tomatoes, they're hiding, so I'm going to move them from there. We also have herbs and thyme. We also have pumpkin, cabbage. So it's a very good variety because we don't believe in just monocropping spinach, because what we recognize is that we as a group have to be able to eat. So we plant a variety. We use a different technique because we plant a variety. You have Oksana there, one of the hard worker on the farm still there, part of the cooperative. We have some carrots as well too. We have some nice carrots, organic. Everything here you see is organic.
Skn Newsline also spoke to some of the vendors on display.
My name is Joda Farai. I'm representing Ital Creation, the owner of Ital Creation actually. So here at Ital Creation, we do a lot of healthy stuff, vegan and vegetarian food. We located on the bypass road opposite the army camp on the highway. So here right now, I'm selling banana cake, breadfruit cake, pumpkin cake, itad, coconut case, moringa juices mixed with moringa and guinea grass, different kind of herbs and mints. Moringa seed, very essential for the body. This purify your blood. Just crack it and there's like a little peanut inside. And you eat that peanut. You eat this peanut right here. And this go through your bloodstream and clean your blood.
Hi, my name is Gregory Wharton. I have here, what I'm doing is providing my natural cannabis cure-all medicine that I produce. I manufacture here in the Federation. I brought in a full pharmaceutical grade cannabis extraction system. And what I do is I acquire naturally grown, hopefully organically grown cannabis here for the Federation. I put it into my extraction system, and then I get out of it about 92% pure, full spectrum extract from cannabis, which is full of cannabinoids and terpenes. I then add pure coconut oil. And with that, I produce this, which I call Wharton's Cannabis Cure-All. This is a full spectrum cannabis extract medicine. It can be used topically. It can also be used internally. If you have pain, muscle pain, nerve pain, ingrown hairs, cuts, wounds, they'll heal faster.
My name is, as everybody know me as Tax, Robert Taylor, you know, is my right name. Well, as you see here, everything from, from coconut. I have the teapots, these are the ship, these are some ashtrays, we got some, 100 cups, some teapots, these are like sugar bowls, they have bowls, you could, put any candies in, anything. I got some different things in the back.
Andre Huey, Skn Newsline.
The Skn Newsline website now offers you more news. Log on to www.sknnewsline.com for local, regional, and international news. You can also watch the latest newscast and keep abreast with news in sports, all from sknnewsline.com. That's www.sknnewsline.com. News at your fingertips.
It's me, Mr. H.E., and I'm here with one message. Roll up to roll out. We all know how difficult things have been during this COVID-19 pandemic. While we continue to wash our hands, wear a face mask, and practice social distancing, how about we take it one step further and get vaccinated? Call the nearest health center to find out if you are eligible to be vaccinated. Or you can contact the Ministry of Health at any one of these numbers down below. Don't be discouraged by the negativity. We all have a role to play in protecting this federation. So, St. Kitts and Nevis, let's roll up to roll out.
Stay abreast with news on St. Martin with SMN News. Visit www.smn-news.com for up-to-date news, scoops, opinions, and hard-hitting facts. SMN News, we tell it like it is. Visit our website www.smn-news.com.
It's the new and improved Skn Newsline Android mobile app. With the Skn Newsline app, you can watch your news reports, the Skn Newsline Newscast, sports, special features, and so much more. You can also send us a WhatsApp or call us directly. Go in the Google Play Store, search Skn Newsline, and download the app today. The Skn Newsline mobile app. News on the go.
Junior, can get popcorn, please? Don't tell Def. Want some to please? I can get some salt. More, please. Boy, take a pack up from Junie.
People can contract COVID-19 even though they are inoculated against it. One university professor says that even though this is a fact, individuals should not avoid getting the jab. Dean of the Faculty of Medical Sciences at the University of the West Indies, Professor Terence Simangal, made this point clear as he discussed the issues surrounding the vaccines.
Conditions of cardiac disease, hypertension, diabetes, etc., the so-called NCDs, are at great risk of having complications from COVID. These are the people who die, obesity, these are the people who die from COVID, have to go to the intensive care unit, have prolonged morbidity. So these are the people who need to definitely get vaccinated.
Professor Simangal added that getting the vaccine does not mean that one can return to mingling freely or partying.
Contract the virus after you've been vaccinated, but it tends to be mild infection, if at all, or asymptomatic infection. Now, the rates of these are decreased, it would appear, but it appears that it can still happen. So even when you're vaccinated, you must continue the public health preventive measures.
Professor Simangal was a guest on TTT's Now Morning Show on Tuesday.
We continue to build out the country's infrastructure. So you'll be aware that within the last year, that we have completed the construction of a fifth berth. That means, therefore, that by next year, we should be in a position to accommodate 1 million tourists to our shores.
Prime Minister Brown outlining the strides made by his administration despite the pandemic. He also outlined the other projects during the pandemic, such as the continued redevelopment of the cargo port at Deepwater Harbour and various road projects, in addition to the expansion of the Sir Novel Richards Academy. On the matter of social protection at a time when many are vulnerable, Prime Minister Brown says his administration has also performed in this area as well.
We've given utility subsidies. We have the Petro-Caribbean initiative, in which we have spent about $12 million within the last year, providing cash support to the poor and vulnerable. We have the Board of Guardian, in which we're spending millions annually, again, providing cash support to the vulnerable. We have done about $16,500 barrels, so that those of you who have relatives abroad, they can send you these barrels and you do not have to pay the duties and taxes.
He says the government forfeited about $5 million in revenues with a barrel relief initiative. The head of government says social programs account for a considerable sum in government spending.
We also have the food voucher program. We have spent probably in the region of about $12 million already on the food voucher program. In fact, based on all of the initiatives that we have in place, all of the social programs, to include school meals, school uniforms, our government within the last year has spent over $80 million to provide for workers and pensioners. So when they talk about stimulus, which they probably mean gift or gifts, we have been providing for the poor and the vulnerable.
In addition, the Prime Minister says the government continues to keep public sector workers employed to ensure aggregate demand does not tank and there isn't more of a fallout in the economy.
It's not a coincidence that we are employing 1/3 of the country's population, 13,000 individuals. And you know why we continue to keep on 13,000 people? Because we recognize that on average, by so doing, at least one person on average will have a job in each home. We want to make sure that no one goes hungry during this period.
Godfrey Burford, ABS News.
A chaotic scene in the Mexican capital. Emergency crews responding to an accident involving a metro rail train on an overpass. Friends and family of possible victims searched frantically for their loved ones.
My brother is still under the rubble. Imagine how many tons they have to move. That's what we want to know. What's going on there?
Surveillance footage captured the harrowing moments as the structure supporting the train cars collapsed above a busy freeway, filling the air with dust and debris.
When we arrived at the scene, people were crying out for help. A vehicle was crushed under the subway car with 2 people inside. The driver looked fine, but the others were trapped.
Local residents say this rail line has faced structural problems in the past and had reported their fears of a possible collapse to authorities. It's been several hours since the accident, and emergency workers are still here trying to clear the scene. You can clearly see those 2 train cars hanging precariously over the freeway. Authorities are asking people to stay back, worried that the structure itself could still collapse further. Mexico City Mayor Claudia Sheinbaum has promised a thorough investigation into what went wrong. Manuel Rapalo, Al Jazeera, Mexico City.
It's been announced that the Indian Premier League 2020 cricket tournament has been indefinitely suspended. India is wrestling with a ferocious wave of COVID-19, and the latest coronavirus figures show infections there have now passed 20 million. India's added around 8 million new cases since the end of March. Our correspondent Davina Gupta is in Delhi and gave us this update on the extent of the crisis.
It's getting more and more difficult each day for thousands of families who are seeing their loved ones lost because they're not able to get the adequate medical aid, even in major cities. And one of the most prominent crises of oxygen shortage remains, in fact, even prompting India's top court to intervene in India's capital, Delhi, where it asked Centre to ensure uninterrupted medical supply to hospitals within midnight. And that was last night. Just this morning, we've seen another SOS from a children's hospital asking for oxygen supply, claiming that they will be running out of it within 2 hours. And that's this desperate situation that we're seeing right now, despite the global aid coming in. Just this morning, we've seen over 500 oxygen concentrators from the US, around 400 oxygen cylinders from the UK as well. But the distribution and management of these resources is a big challenge. And that's why just yesterday, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has pressed the army into service, calling them to boost the current medical setup. And medical students are also pulled out from their colleges and have been asked to help hospitals in this time of need.
And Davina, the government says infections are coming down, the number of infections coming down. Have you seen any evidence of that? Is there evidence of that?
What we're seeing right now in India's capital, Delhi, is that the lives lost continue to be over 400 for the third day. And we've seen slight numbers abating in Mumbai, which is India's financial hub. But public health experts say that's because enough testing is not being done. We've heard from multiple sources and multiple people who have said that even when they go out to get tested, they are often turned away by overwhelmed hospitals. If they book a test at home, often people don't show up. So it could be a result of under-testing that we're seeing these numbers slightly being reported, underreported. But the crisis continues because we still see a lot of dead bodies being brought to crematoriums, and those numbers often don't match up with the numbers that hospitals are giving out or the government is giving out.
And Davina, briefly, we've been hearing obviously over the weekend that vaccinations have been extended to all over 18s in India, but vaccinations are in short supply. Is that still the case?
Yes, that's still the case. Vaccine centers have posted notices that they've run out of supply in major cities as well. In rural India and smaller towns, again, the vaccine shortage continues because India so far is offering 2 doses of vaccine, Oxford AstraZeneca and Indian-made Covaxin. The need of the hour is over 600 million people to be vaccinated, but the production is severely under. And that's where we see vaccine shortages in several states right now, although the government continues to deny any such shortage.
With some high-profile matches in this past weekend's Skn Premier League ending in draws, 3 teams enjoyed victories. MFCR United Old Road Jets defeated Hot Springs Bat United 2-0, both goals coming from Tiquani Williams in the 85th and 90th minute. All the SKNFA Premier League matches were streamed live on the SKNFA Facebook page. In the post-match analysis, LaShawn Dixon and Essington Watts spoke about Old Road returning to winning ways and Bat United playing good football despite the loss.
A very heartbroken moment for the division team. They held out for 85 minutes. And then just some blunders. Yeah. And with a goal scorer like Tiquani Williams with great goal scoring instinct, great finishing instinct, he was able to capitalize and especially in the last goal, able to capitalize on a mistake. But the first goal was a beautiful goal.
In Friday night's second match, defending champions SL Horses St. Paul's United proved why they are favourites to repeat this season after they dispatched title contenders Flow Fujiken Rockets 3-0. This is the second time in a week that St. Paul's defeated the team that was ranked second in the table after defeating Garden Hotspurs, who was ranked second last week. Scoring for St. Paul's, Javon Leader in the 30th minute, Vince Roy Nelson scoring against his old side in the 48th minute with a stunning free kick and celebrating every minute of it, and Anthony Keynes in the 5th minute of stoppage time. After the match, we heard from the manager of the St. Paul's team, Mr. Darian Edmead, as well as assistant coach of Keon, Jazza Buchanan.
Tonight game, and so we look at a lot of things in trouble against St. Paul's, where we can counter and the weakness and other things. We think we don't pack with that up to the 45 minutes in the first half and so about it. Then with the long ball and the other things and so. And then we just went off. Things where we wanted, we didn't want them man to get a chance and so. To get a chance. That's what we call, we had a thing that we call the red zone, where we said we can't afford to get any foul, anything around them here because they are very good at set pieces. Right?
The goals, I mean, what can I say? I mean, it's what happened when you remain composed. First goal, brilliant. We came out, we went in the second half. As you said, we make the adjustments. We realized that we had to match Keon energy based on how they were playing in the first half. We realized they were more or less bullying us back in the game. So, yeah, so we really had to just look at what they were really doing and figure out what we were not doing properly. And after we making the adjustments, I think we came out second half and we just start seeing St. Paul's playing St. Paul's football.
On Saturday, Trafalgar South Stars in dramatic fashion picked up their first victory of the season when they defeated Deer Bay Eagles 4-2 in a topsy-turvy encounter. Scoring for South Stars, Ronaldo Nisbet getting the lead in the 15th minute, only for Sean Descent of Deer Bay to equalize in the 48th minute. George L. Dickinson doubled the Deer Bay's lead in the 63rd minute, but Ronaldo Nisbet scoring a second goal and Shamari Hanley and Dylan Morton ensured South Stars walked away with all 3 points. The commentary team provided post-match analysis.
A good week for South Stars, getting their first point, yes. And now getting their first victory. Yes. They get the first point with a John game, and now they've gotten their first victory, beating Deer Bay 4-2. But I said it was an enjoyable game, a very great watch. Normally, bottom of the table, you might find it maybe one-sided, but it was a great watch. 2 teams battling it out, and as I said, it seems even more competitive at the bottom of the table than at the top.
In the second of Saturday night's doubleheader, Saul Allen Autosplice Connery FC drew 1-1 with Esgrave Newtown United. Dagan and Roberts gave Newtown the lead in the 58th minute, but Kadeen Lewis, the last-ditch effort, gave Connery the equalizer in the 85th minute. Coach of Connery, Al Richards, said this result was well needed for his team.
We're going to lose. If someone made, being a walker, with 2 on top. Just like he came on, a ball come out the top, so the ball ended up come between Lewis and the goalkeeper back of the net, So a good game, maybe physical game, intense game, as you can see. Our plan was to eliminate the middle, which was Mitchum, just after we dropped sleep there, he made the pass to Roberts. And it was there, back of the net, you know what I mean? So, it was a good game, I must say. It was a very good game from both teams. Very physical, but I got for the job. Seriously.
On Sunday, despite taking an early lead, Fast Cash Saddlers had to settle for a 2-2 draw versus St. Peter's FC. Shaheem Prentice scored both goals for St. Peter's in the 26th and 42nd minute, and Stephen Rollins and Evans Roy Barnes were the goal scorers for Saddlers in the 4th and 59th minutes. And the weekend's marquee matchup between former champions Rands Village Superstars and title contenders Garden Hotspurs ended in a 1-1 draw. Kimari Rogers scored for Village in the 37th minute and Shervin Allen for Spurs in the 72nd minute. Mazari Hodge of Village was sent off with a red card after picking up 2 yellow cards in the 29th and 80th minutes.